That's just too much. Let's start over. Hey guys, welcome back. As you can tell by the title, today's video is all about the upcoming Sephora VIB sale. So if you're a makeup junkie, then you should know what the VIB sale is. And this weekend is the VIB Rouge sale, so you'll be getting 20% off. And then next weekend is going to be for VIB. And I also think that this year they've added an extra sale event for VIB Rouge, and it will be the same 20%. Today, I just wanted to come on here and give you guys the breakdown of how to shop the sale, because I know a lot of people come on here every year and do like their recommendations, like products you should buy, but nobody really ever talks about, you know, the best way to go about shopping for the actual sale to save the most money. So I thought I'd touch on that a little bit. But before we get started, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Alisha. I do beauty, fashion, and lifestyle videos. So if you're into any of that stuff, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. And also hit the bell button so that you're notified every single time I upload a video. Now that that's out of the way, let's get started on the video. So the first part of the video is what to buy, and I've broken it up into 4 categories for you. So the first thing you want to do is cop your essentials. So category 1 is essentials. What do I mean by essentials? So it's any skincare or beauty product that you use, if not every day, at least 3 days a week, because you know that's your like go-to, your ride or die. It's stuff that you're always going to need. So you want to make sure you have backups. So for example, if you get your body wash at Sephora, you want to stock up on your body wash during the sale. If you use like your facial cleanser, that's something you know is going to run out in a relatively short time. So you want to stock up on your cleanser. For me personally, I know that when I do my makeup to film or go out, I do it at least 3 times a week. So a primer would be something I go for. I know that I will go stock up on my Smashbox primer because I go through these in a decent amount of time. I used to get the travel size, but I get the bigger ones now, so they last a little bit longer. So what I would do is probably just get a backup of the Smashbox primer. Another thing that I would get would be my Glam Glow Hollywood California Youth Mud Tingle Exfoliate Treatment. This is a mud mask. I try to do a mask twice a week, once a mud mask, and second time is going to be like a sheet mask, like more of a moisturizing type situation. So I know that these Glam Glow masks don't last that long. Unfortunately, they're expensive and they don't last that long, but they're really good. So I know that this would be a time for me to stock up on another Glam Glow mask. And lastly, in my essentials, but mind you, these are not all my essentials, these are just my examples. So the next thing is going to be my Huda Beauty Samantha lashes. These are my favorite Huda Beauty lashes and one of my top 3 favorite lashes overall. So I know that I use these a lot, and I do get a lot of wear out of them, so I don't need that many. I think I get maybe like, I want to say 10 to 15 wears out of these before I have to like throw them away because I accidentally ripped it or something. So being that they're a little on the pricier side, I think they're $20 a pair, I would definitely get 2 or 3 pairs just to have around for whenever these fail me, or I think I have one more pair after this. So just to make sure that if I end up ripping a lash or losing a lash or something, I know I always have this on deck. So the next category is going to be your re-ups. This is going to be stuff that you're either almost out of, they're on their last leg, or you've ran out of it already and you haven't had a chance to, you know, buy a new one, or you were holding out for this sale. If you're like me, you were holding out for this sale. So these are going to be things that probably, just to piggyback off of the first category, you use pretty often, if not every day, a few times a week, or whatever the case is. Or it could be something that you don't even use that much, but it's pretty expensive. So you use it over time, but you wouldn't just, you know, want to cop it just on an average day at full price. So some examples of the re-up: my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. This is absolutely done. Like, there's a little bit left in the bottom, but no matter how much I try to shake it down, I can't get it. And I deliberately did not buy a new one of this because I knew the sale was coming up. So I think I'm going to get the big jar this time instead of the travel size. But this is something that I would re-up on. Also something I would re-up on is my Black Up, I guess, cosmetic corrector quad. Now, okay, so as you can see, I pretty much hit pan on the corrector section of this because that's the only part that I really need to use. Unfortunately, I feel like I don't really use concealers like creamy concealers for under eye highlight and stuff like that, and then I don't really have spots on my face that I need to conceal, so I end up not using the other 3 products in this quad. So although I love this corrector, I don't think I'm gonna repurchase this, only because I think it's a waste of money to not use the other 3 items. But if you have something like this, a corrector or anything that's like by itself that you use every time you do your makeup, definitely re-up on that. Another example that I have is my Belief First Aid Overnight Brightening Mask. Now this is extremely moisturizing and I really like how my skin feels the next day. This is not something I use all the time. I use it maybe like, I don't know, once every 2 weeks when I feel like I need an extra boost of moisture because I've like used too much makeup or dried out my skin. So this is something that I know will last me a little bit longer, but I do want to re-up on it. This is on its last leg for me, so I'm definitely going to get more of this. The next things you want to go for are your splurges. Now these are going to be things that you've been on the fence about, thinking about, that you really want or really like, but you weren't ready to just cough up the cash for it just yet. So now you can get them at a cheaper price. For example, I want the Slip Silk pillowcase, and those retail for $100, so with the sale it would be $80, which is a lot better of a deal, and it's great for your hair because, you know, they say you're supposed to sleep on silk to minimize breakage. So that's something I didn't want to spend on straight off the bat, but now that the sale is here, I'm most likely to get it. I don't have it, so I don't have it to show you, but if I can find a picture, I'll insert it on the screen. And I'll link it down in the description box with everything else that is mentioned in this video. Now for my suggestions, skincare, fragrances, and palettes are your big ticket items. Those are the things that you want to go for during the sale. They retail for probably $50 or more, and you can get some really good savings on some things that you want. So first of all, I would say go for those eyeshadow palettes that you've been eyeing, that you haven't want to buy. And for some recommendations, I have here the Viseart matte palette. This is the dark one, the dark mattes palette. These are my favorite mattes of all time. They're not powdery, they're like the perfect consistency, and the pigmentation is really good. So these I think retail for like $65. It could be more than that. It might be like more like between $70 and $90, I believe. I'll put the price somewhere on the screen. But these palettes are great for you to go for because they're pretty expensive, but they're worth the money. So if you can save on them, you know, that's a good deal. Next up, you want to go for the Makeup Forever eyeshadows. These are also top 3 best eyeshadows on the market. So you want to go and grab yourself some Makeup Forever eyeshadow palettes. This is a neutral palette that I have here. And I think these are also on like between the $45 to $65 range. So that's something you want to go for because especially the neutrals, you're going to use them pretty often. Like everyday looks, this is your best friend. So this is a good time for you to grab that. Another recommendation is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I love this palette to death. The colors are amazing, especially for this current season. I think this is a staple, so this is something that you should definitely go for if you've been thinking about it. And last palette suggestion is going to be the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. Now, if the packaging isn't enough to grab you, the colors inside are gorgeous. I'm like obsessed with the packaging. I can't stop staring at it. Like Huda is so gorgeous. Her eyes are so pretty. And like, I don't know. I just love the packaging. Like I die for the packaging. Well, I don't die. I live for it. I live for the packaging. Like I said, you also want to go for fragrances. This is the Versace Yellow Diamond fragrance. This is one of the fragrances that I use fairly often. And designer perfumes are pretty expensive, like $90 a bottle. So yeah, something you definitely want to think about. Some other product suggestions are Bobbi Brown products. I love Bobbi Brown products. The quality is amazing, but we all know they're pretty pricey for the good skincare stuff. So my 2 recommendations for you are the Vitamin Enriched Face Base. It has shea butter and vitamin C and E in it, and the Extra Repair Eye Cream. Love this stuff for overnight eye cream. These are things that I purchased in the last sale because I know that they're pretty pricey, but they're worth, you know, grabbing. Bobbi Brown products, specifically, if you are interested in Bobbi Brown skincare products, grab them during the sale. Trust me, you're not going to regret buying them. They're amazing products, and it's always good to save a little cash on them. Another thing to splurge on are the Sephora Pro brushes. Now, a lot of people sleep on Sephora Pro. Back in the day, you couldn't pay me enough to buy a Sephora brush, I won't lie. But the pro brushes are on another level. Not the regular ones, only the pro ones. And especially the pro featherweight collection. I love these brushes so much. The blush brush, the eyeshadow blending brush, and the face powder brush. These brushes are freaking amazing. They're so soft. Like, I am not even playing with you. These are like the softest brushes I've ever touched in my entire life. Like, they're on some next level perfection, and I love them. So if you're unsure about them, so you didn't want to go full on and spend all the money on them, like, now is the time for you to try them out. But I highly recommend them, especially the eyeshadow brush. Like, I use this a lot. This is a really good blending brush, so much so that I think I'm gonna buy a backup of it in the sale, because it just, I don't know, it just gets in there so well. I love that it blends out the harsh lines, so it makes it look really airbrushed, but it leaves the richness or the pigmentation of the color. So this is a really good blending brush. And then my last recommendation for a splurge is the Peter Thomas Roth 24 Karat Magic Gold Pure Luxury Lift and Firm Hydrogel Eye Patches. I may have slid the magic in there, but these eye patches are bomb. They have real 24 karat gold in them, and they really do brighten up your under eye. Now, these I do not use often because they are freaking expensive, but I do see a difference when I do use them, and I do like to use them sometimes. So if you're interested in this or even thinking about it, definitely go for it. Okay, so now for category 4, that's going to be your value sets, or as Sephora calls it, gift sets. This is your opportunity to try things that you've never tried before and save money while doing it. For example, I love L'Occitane hand cream. It's like my go-to. I never leave home without having one of these in my bag, and I always used to use this one. And I liked it so much, I said, you know, what are the other ones like? Maybe I should try the other ones. So I grabbed this one and saved a few dollars. Like, this says it's $36 value, but you pay $28 for it. So you save like a good chunk of change, like $8 relative to the price, obviously. And you get to try different scents of the hand lotion. So then that way you figure out what you like, and that way you can buy more of what you actually like after you're done trying them out. And last but not least in this category, I have Sephora favorites. Now, if you're familiar with Sephora favorites, they do lashes, lips, I think bronzy or glow or something like that, skincare, like just a bunch of different Sephora favorites. So it's like a bunch of different products relative to one need in one little box. So this is Extravagant Eyes. I picked this up during the last sale, and this was a good way for me to, one, get an essential, my Samantha lashes, and two, try a bunch of different things that I otherwise would not have purchased, but I could definitely use and see if I like them. This one particularly has a Marc Jacob mascara, which I've used and I like it, Urban Decay eyeliner, a NARS highlighter, Smashbox primer, which I already know is awesome, and I think an eyeshadow stick. So everything related to eyes. And this was $42, and it was a $134 value. So you save a bunch of money getting something like this. There's also a Lash Stash one. I don't have the box for that on me. I think you get about 6 or 8 mascaras in it, which I have it upstairs. I just can't find it. But yeah, 6 or 8 mascaras in it, and then you get a voucher to get a full-size version of whichever mascara you decide. So I thought that was really awesome, which is why I bought it. Obviously, it was a huge savings. Also, I can't remember the price, but as usual, I'll link it down below if I can find it. But it's like you get to try all these mascaras, and there were a couple in there that were some of my favorites, so it worked out that way. And then the full size, the voucher for the full size, so I can go into the store and grab, you know, one of my favorites. Or if I like one of the new ones I've tried, go grab a full size of that. So that definitely is a huge way to save while trying out new products when shopping the Sephora sale. Alright, so now that we have how to go about your categories and what my suggestions are for this sale, it's time to get into how to actually shop the sale. So the first thing that you want to do is to create a list. So how are you going to create your list? You want to, like I said, go down the line of all the things that you use every day or at least 3 days a week. Those are your essentials, your staples. You want to write down all those things that you know you're going to run out of in like the next 3 to 6 months, and then you're going to write those down to go grab them in the sale. Second thing you want to do is to go through all of your makeup drawers, your cabinets, your makeup trunk, wherever you store your skincare and your makeup stuff, and you want to go through and see what is about to be finished. So what's on this last leg? Is your shower gel about to be done? Is your setting spray about to be done? You know, these things that are, like I said, either your essentials or things that you know you're going to need anyway that are almost done, that you probably wouldn't have been paying attention to before. You want to go find those, and then you want to add those to your list too. Now, if you were following my categories before, this list should already be done for you. It should already be at least halfway curated by now before getting to this part of the video, so you already have a good running list. Now, what you want to do is go to Sephora.com, whether it's on the app or on the website, and you're going to put all the things that you have on this list into your cart. Okay, gonna go find everything. Don't get too distracted, because I know how that can be. Don't get starry-eyed over the new products, but go with your list and make your cart. Now that you've had your cart, I just want you to step away. Just leave it alone. Leave it for like a day, leave it for 2 days, maximum 3 days, depending on, you know, how much time you have left in the sale when you're watching this video. But you want to step away, leave it. Leave it for a couple of days, okay? Then when you're done with the couple of days, you're going to come back to your cart and you're going to go through everything in your cart, and now you're going to really sit and ask yourself, do I really need this or do I really want this? Because yes, you want to save money during the sale, but you also don't want to go ham and then eat noodles for the rest of the month, you know what I'm saying? Especially with holiday shopping coming up. So you go through and you be really realistic with yourself, and you edit it. You edit your cart. You take out the things that you don't really need or really want. So after you've done that, now you're ready to shop the sale. My biggest recommendation for you is to not shop in store. Shop online. Reason being, one, you're going to have a higher availability of all the products that you're interested in, most likely. And two, you get to use Ebates. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all know I love me some Ebates. I've spoken about it before, and I'm back at you with the Ebates plug. No, this is not sponsored. I wish it was. But I just love Ebates so much because it saved me a ton of money in the past, and it continues to save me money now. So what you want to do is you want to sign up for Ebates. I'm going to leave the link to sign up in the description box below, so you can do that. And I also recommend that you install the widget to, if you're using Google Chrome. I don't know if Safari has a plugin for that. If I find it, I'm going to link it below too. But I know Google Chrome does because I use it. So if I find the link for that plugin, I'm going to leave that in the description box as well. But what you want to do is you want to install that plugin. That way, when you go to Sephora.com on your web browser, it's going to have a little E in the right corner, and it's going to blink red, which means that, hey, Ebates works at this store and you need to activate it. Now, that's the best way so you don't forget to activate it. And then you just click on the little button, you click Activate Cashback, and you're good to go. Okay, guys, that's all for today's video. I hope it doesn't turn out to be super long, but thank you for sticking around. If it is, make sure you give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!